How are you all doing today? Welcome to my channel. I'm going to do a match review from the wonderful game that we've seen. As you can see, I've also got kind of new setup, new layout. Hope you like it. Hope it looks a bit more professional. There's about 15 of you in here already. If you can hit that like and subscribe early, that would be wonderful. And just to let you know that super chats are now available. Obviously, getting this software and stuff to run the channel isn't actually cheap. So any support will be gratefully appreciated. A couple of shout outs while I'm here. Big up Andrew. Also, afternoon John. Afternoon Gary. Afternoon Keep It Real. Afternoon Trevor. I hope you're all well. I wanted to go through just a full match review. Also, kind of show you some nice photographs of the game. Also, talk a little bit about Arnie Slot's presser at the end of the game. And we can probably look at the Salah stuff as well, which is interesting. Also, afternoon Red Chair, Red Armchair. Afternoon Douglas. Afternoon James. Hope you are all well. 24 of you in here now, so please hit that like and subscribe. Would appreciate it. So what I will do is I will start reading out a full match review. So Liverpool maintain their perfect start to the 2024-25 Premier League season after another masterclass performance from Mo Salah led the Reds to a 3-0 victory at Old Trafford. Since that 7-1 shellacking at Anfield in March 2023, Man United have avoided defeat in their last 3 competitive encounters, including 2 Premier League games, home and away, and a FA Cup game, drawing both league games last season and their 4-3 FA Cup quarter-final victory. Liverpool thought they'd taken the lead when Ryan Gravenberch marooned forward through the parting of the Red Sea, which was their midfield, cutting a dangerous ball back to the byline. And the path of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who fired a powerful shot over the line, but it was ruled for offside because of Salah touching the ball in the build-up. Is what it is. However, Arnie Slot's side began to dictate the game, and after early disappointment, got their reward in the 35th minute when a loose pass from Casemiro allowed Gravenberch to set Salah on his way, and the Egyptian found Luis Diaz with a sumptuous cross to the far post, which Diaz headed home. Casemiro's afternoon got worse before the interval after another error from him saw Diaz win the ball back with a great tackle from behind and play a neat 1-2 with Salah unleashing a outside of the foot right-footed pass across Onana, and Diaz swept the ball into the back of the net with a wonderful finish while falling backwards. The gulf of class between the sides in the first half was evident, and while United had the lion's share of possession, they never really looked in any trouble, and Alisson didn't look in any trouble in Liverpool's goal. Liverpool picked up where they left off in the second period and put the game to bed in the 56th minute when Dominic Szoboszlai fed Salah, who made no mistake, with a first-time shot beyond the despairing Onana. United barely had a sniff in the second half and saw the Reds walk out the match easy, going the second Premier League standings after 3 matches, while Manchester United dropped down to 14th place with 3 points in as many games. Okay, so that's just a match summary. For me, we were in total control, start to finish. Even after the third goal, I felt like we could have gone up another 2 or 3 gears. We just sat back and really just let the game, like let them have the ball. Like, we're not doing that football anymore where it's just high press, just gung ho, everyone charging at their play, trying to score as many goals as we can. It just isn't the football we play anymore. Sometimes in games it may be maybe a bit drab, maybe a bit boring. Like, the last 20 minutes of the second half, I could have fell asleep. Like, it was boring, but it didn't need to be anything because the game was done in the 56th minute. Like, we're 3-0 up at Old Trafford. Like, it didn't need to be anything more. Like, we could go and smash them 7-0, but then Ten Hag gets sacked, and then they get a new manager in, and I want Ten Hag to stay for as long as he can. A couple more shout outs. Afternoon, Richard. Afternoon, Colin. Hope you're well. Also, massive thanks, Trevor, to the super chat. I'll kick it off for yesterday's slot ball. Yes, please. Oh, you're in Jamaica? Oh, okay. Wow, that's early. Well, wake up to me. Wake up to my ugly mug. But we're all happy. We're all happy. You probably watched that game quite early as well, didn't you? Afternoon, ganging. And also afternoon, Trigger. Hope you are all well. Okay, so let's cover a bit more about the game. So Luis Diaz goal versus Manchester United. Just to let you know that Luis Diaz now has a habit of scoring in the first and second games of the season. This seems to be Luis Diaz's thing that he does every year. So he's done this for 2 years in a row. Some other interesting numbers. Mo Salah's got 15 goals in 16 games against Manchester United now, which is pretty insane. And another interesting fact that you didn't know is Arne Slot hasn't lost a league game in a calendar year now. So Arne Slot is on his own kind of record himself because he hasn't lost any league games either. So this is all about what he's doing as well as a manager. Just in case you didn't know, he hasn't lost in a calendar year. Like, the last game he lost, I think, was September 2023. So he's on a massive run of not losing games in his own personal career. Couple more shout outs. Big up, Ensman. Hope you are well. Glad you like it, mate. Glad you like it. So Mo Salah scored a third goal in 3 matches and also 3 assists in 3 matches now. Mo Salah was voted man of the match on a number of websites, but on Sky it was Diaz. I mean, for me, Diaz has kind of stolen the man of the match from Gravenberch 2 games in a row now, because I think Gravenberch was absolutely sensational, and I'm going to talk about him more in more detail. And I'm also going to eat a load of humble pie as well, because I didn't rate Gravenberch last year, and I said he probably wouldn't be with us. But how wrong have I been? He has been absolutely sensational this season. Really fitted into that role perfectly. It's obvious something that Slot had seen, and you've got to really give a lot of credit to the manager, to be able to have the confidence to play Gravenberch in that position and for him to just thrive in it. Also, big up Jamie. Good to see you here. I don't think I've seen you on this channel before. If you haven't subscribed, please do, mate. I mean, I see a lot of people in the chat saying Zubimendi who? Like, the thing about it is, if we'd have got Zubimendi, Gravenberch wouldn't have played. Like, be careful what you wish for. Like, he's been absolutely sensational. Like, he really has been absolutely sensational, Gravenberch. And if you also look at the game, and I'll go in more detail in the actual review section. Gravenberch was played in a different position today than he was in the last two games. He was played on the right hand side, and Szoboszlai was played on the left hand side, and McAllister was the low midfielder, was the defensive midfielder in this game. And Gravenberch was absolutely phenomenal. Like the amount of challenges and the amount of recoveries and the amount of times he got forward and just marauded forward and dispossessed players and was in the right position. Positionally, he's been fantastic in the last game. And that's a negative that I had about in the previous games. It didn't look like he was in the right position at times. But today, but yesterday, like, sensational. Massive thanks, massive thanks, massive thanks. Also, any of the chat, welcome, Jamie. Welcome to the channel. So a bit more about Mo. So Mo scored 10 goals in 9 appearances at Old Trafford for Liverpool in all competitions. He is the only second player to score 10 plus goals in a single away ground for a Premier League club since 1992-1993, after Alan Shearer, who scored 10 at Ellen Road. Like, these are the kind of numbers that Mo's doing. These are the kind of numbers that Mo's doing. If Mo gets another, like Mo said in the interview, didn't he, that it could be his last game at Old Trafford. Well, it could be his last game at Old Trafford. If we don't give him a new contract, then it will be. But if he gets another goal at Old Trafford, then he'll be breaking Alan Shearer's record. So, you've got Mo looking at more records that we didn't know existed. Also, a couple more shout outs. Big up Toxic Tash, and also big up George. Hope you are well today. That's crazy, that. Like, 10 goals in 9 appearances at Old Trafford, and they say Mo can't do it against the top 6. You having a laugh? Arne Slot is the first Liverpool manager to win each of his first 3 Premier League games without conceding a single goal since Sven-Göran Eriksson in 2007. Did you know that stat? And RIP Sven, fantastic guy. So Arne Slot's breaking records now. Like, if Arne Slot wins his next game, then he may well be breaking a record. Like this is what we're working with now. Like, it's insane. So a little bit more about the actual game. So the possession, Manchester United had more possession than us, 53-47. Manchester United had 8 shots. We had 11 shots on target, 3. Liverpool 3 as well. Corners, Manchester United had 5. Liverpool had 2. And the fouls were similar, 7 and 7, which is really interesting because it just looks like, on paper, it just looks like we went 2 goals up, sat back for a bit, half time, and then scored the third, and then just literally shut shop, just didn't bother. Like, and we had a couple of chances, like, Dominic Szoboszlai probably should have just tapped it into an open net, but he didn't. Mo Salah had one that went over the bar, which he probably should have scored. And that was pretty much it, to be honest. Like, I think Canate had a shot as well, which he shanked over. And that was pretty much it. Jota missed one, I think. But it was just we just stopped playing. Like, just let them have the ball. Like, we just weren't really bothered. Like, we're winning 3-0. Like, we don't need to overexert ourselves. We don't really need to run the guys into the ground. I think that's just good game management. It's something that we didn't have in the past. We didn't have great game management in the past. Like, and it's just a fact. Like, it it's hard to deny it. Like, but it was just kind of that. Like, we just didn't have great game management in the past. So wanted to cover. Oh, hang on. Yeah. So I wanted to cover a few things. Obviously, wanted to look at some of the goal celebrations. Obviously, Mo just having the time of his life. Like, is that a guy that wants to leave the club? Like, does that really look like a guy that wants to leave the club? Like, that's a guy that's just, he's really happy, absolutely loving life. Can't wait for this guy to come in as well. And then you got Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz just absolutely sensational. Like so many things that Diaz is doing better now, and one of them is he's just getting into the box more. Like, that was a terrific header. Like, that was a difficult header. And Dom was heavily involved in this game, heavily involved. Absolutely run riot. Look, celebrations all over the park. Really good to see. Just what we want. And I wanted to also just cover a little bit about Liverpool in general. So obviously 3 wins on the bounce, same as Man City. We haven't conceded any goals. We're the only Premier League team that hasn't conceded any goals this season. Obviously 3 matches, 3 goals. I'm just checking I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, I am, yeah. 3 matches, 3 goals. Sorry, 3 matches, 7 goals, none conceded, 6 assists, all 7 goals, outfield goals, 2.3 goals per game, quite standard. No penalties, no free kicks. We've only had 1 free kick. I don't know what that means. So we've got 39 shots inside the box, 7 goals scored. 9 shots from outside the box, no goals. Left-footed goals 5, right-footed goals 1, and a headed goal 1. Big chances per game, 5 big chances per game, 3 big chances missed per game. Standard of an average of 16 shots per game. Shots on target per game 5. Shots off target per game 5. Block shots per game 5. Successful dribbles 8. Corners per game 7. Free kicks per game 7. We've hit the woodwork twice, and we've had 5 counter attacks. And our ball possession is around 57%. 87% pass accuracy, 92% in our own half, 82% in the opposition's half. That is a really, really high stat, by the way. Like, I don't think we realise how high that stat is. To have 80% possession in the opposition's half is big. It's big because it's the hardest place to play the ball around. It's the hardest part of the pitch to get passes connected. So that's a big deal. 48%, 18 long balls, which is good because it was a lot more last season. Like, sometimes it was 10 in a game. Accurate crosses haven't been great, but we haven't done a lot of them. 3 clean sheets, 16 tackles per game, 7 interceptions per game, 18 clearances per game, 2 saves per game. We also have to look at this as well because Ali's not having to do a huge amount of work anymore, which is really good for him. So a standard of 2 saves per game is good. They're really good numbers. Also, big up Tafs there. Where are we? Last man tackles 1. Errors leading to a shot 1. No errors leading to anything else. Just looking at the duels, pretty much 49% duels. Ground duels 45%, so 32 have happened. Aerial duels, a lot more aerial duels were winning, 60%. Possession lost 118. Throw-ins per game 21, goal kicks per game 4, offsides 1, which is pretty much Nunes every game, if I'm honest. Fouls per game 11, yellow cards 1, just really good numbers. And obviously Mo's been rated really high, Diaz has been rated really high, Dom's been rated really high, and obviously Canate, which I can't disagree with. So going into more detail in the game, I'll just check you can see that okay. Yep, you can see that. Okay, so just a bit more detail in the game. I just wanted to show you the average positioning. So as you can see, during this game, we had Robbo a lot deeper. And also, as you can see, we had McAllister as the DM. And Gravenberch was playing in the McAllister role from the last 2 games. And then you've got Dominic Szoboszlai, who played high on the left and was highly effective, obviously with an assist. And should he probably scored 2 goals, if I'm honest. Like, probably should have scored 2 goals. And as you can see, you've got Diaz playing quite deep, and Salah was playing quite high again, and obviously Jota was playing as the 9. Jota didn't have a fantastic game, but he also didn't have a bad game, if I'm honest. So it was a little bit here and there, really. Obviously, Casemiro had a terrible game. He was at error for 2 goals, as you can see. So he was culpable for 2 goals. Didn't win many ground duels either, and also lost possession quite a lot and got dragged off. Fans didn't like that. We can also talk about Kobe Mainoo, because Kobe Mainoo was also an error to a goal. Didn't win many ground duels, didn't win any aerial duels, lost possession quite a lot. Didn't particularly have a great game, by the way, but everybody seems to think that he's the best thing since sliced bread, when he just isn't. Obviously, we can talk about the guy who scored the 2 goals. He had 34 touches. Didn't win many ground duels, which was interesting, because he normally wins a lot of ground duels, because he's normally heavily involved, but he didn't during this game. Not great with the passing either. He had 100% pass accuracy in the last game, but he did what mattered most, and he scored the important goals, and he got in those areas where he needs to be more. His expected goals were 0.61. That's how difficult those 2 chances were that he scored. He was absolutely sensational. And it was good that we took him off as well to give him a rest. And then obviously you've got Mo. Mo's heat map just plays really wide now, and momentum in the play, and also gets in the box a lot more now. And as you can see, he's involved in track and back as well. Like, he had a couple of so obviously he scored his goal from there. It was a great one-touch finish, and obviously that was a 0.58 for that. His assist was sensational, 0.63 assists, 3 key passes, 53 touches, shot on target, shot off target, won quite a few ground duels. Look, 5 out of 9 ground duels. Like, this is Mo doing things that Mo didn't do before, because he's in better positions now, where he can be more involved in the game. Also, as you can see, Gravenberch played a lot more of a midfielder on the right role. He was just in the positions all the time. He picked up the ball here a lot, and charge forward, and he dispossessed a lot of players here. Ground duels, 9 out of 6. Won his aerial duels. Got fouled quite a few times to win his free kicks. 4 interceptions. 1 big clearance. Obviously, he would have created a big chance, but that was offside. Otherwise, that would have been in there. Had a sensational game for me. That's 3 in a row now for Gravenberch. I just wanted to just bring up his overall this season. Obviously, 3 games, 3 started. Plays every game, by the way. More looking at the passing side of things. So 89% pass accuracy per game, 90% pass accuracy in his own half, 88% pass accuracy in the opposition's half. Like, I don't think we realise how big that is as well. Like, being able to have a good passing accuracy in the opposition's half, that was something that didn't do well in our midfield last season. We didn't do that well last season. Afternoon, Russell. Afternoon, Jan. Anybody else that's joined? Afternoon, Pay the Toll. Afternoon, Andre. Not seen you on here before. It'd be great if you'd like to subscribe if you haven't already, mate. And if you do subscribe, let us know. Afternoon, Just Memes. And also afternoon, Danny. If you've got something that you want me to read out in the chat, just pop me a super chat and I'll definitely read it out. But I don't really read out a lot of comments because you write so much. And obviously I'm trying to talk about the game more. But if you've got something that you really want me to read out, pop a super chat in there and I'll read it out. Okay, so chipped passes, 78%. That's an interesting one. Interceptions, 2 per game. Tackles, 2 per game. Ball recoveries, 5, and that's brilliant. Like, really involved in the game, helping back. Anything else in there? No, but just looking like a really solid player now. That's just more and more involved in the game. No outstanding weaknesses. Yeah, he hasn't got any outstanding weaknesses, has he? Really gone from strength to strength, if I'm completely honest. So for Gravenberch, like he used to play this position for Ajax. Like, as you can see, like, he played a deep line playmaker role for Ajax a lot. Like, and you can look at his numbers, like, for what he did back then. Like, he was involved, like, but not as much as he is now. Like, he was more of a midfield guy. He was more creative. He was also a hell of a lot younger back then. But this is his seasons when he was playing. He didn't have many games actually back then. He had very rare games then because he was like 16. But this was like his last season. And you can see that this is where we're looking to play him now. Like, he's looking to be played more in this position. So this is all the games combined, by the way, just as heat mapping all the games. Anyway, so what else have I got to cover on? Yes, okay, so we can talk about the Mo. We can talk about what Mo said. So I think think we're kind of reading into it a bit much. So I'll just read back what Mo said, what Mo actually said. In fact, speaking on Sky Sports after the game, Salah claimed that he was yet to be approached over a possible extension by any officials at Liverpool. Okay, honestly, I had a good summer. I had a long time to stay with myself and to try to think positive because as you know, it's my last year in the club, he said. Well, he's not lying. It is his last year in the club. Like, if he doesn't sign a new contract. I just want to enjoy it and I don't want to think about it. I feel I'm free to play football and we'll see what's going to happen next year. Nobody in the club. Okay, so Salah scored 10 goals. Old Trafford. He added, to be fair, I was coming to the game and I said it could be the last time. Nobody in the club talked to me yet about contracts. So I've said, okay, I'll play my last season and in the end, we'll see. And obviously, Daniel Sturridge said, it's not up to me. Nobody talked to me from the club, but we'll see. He said, okay. So let's dissect that. Okay, so if Salah's saying that nobody in the club's talked to him, then does that mean nobody hasn't talked to his agent? Does that mean that maybe someone could have spoken to his agent? So does that mean that nobody's spoken to his agent? Because if somebody's spoken to his agent, then he's not lying by saying, well, nobody's spoken to me. Like, or is this a shot across the bow, basically saying, look, I'm ready to sign a new contract. Like, I'm ready to sign a new contract. Like, you need to come to me now. Like, this is what we need to look at because for me, Mo doesn't want to leave. Like, Mo really doesn't want to leave the club. I'm just going to couple more shout outs. Big up LFC fan. Also, afternoon Spider, hope you're well. Big up Malcolm. Anybody else? Anybody else? Big up Castante or Casande. So what I'm reading into it as a Liverpool fan. I'm reading into it as he hasn't been offered a new contract yet. However, he's saying to the club, "Look, I'm happy. I'm ready to go again." Like, like, like if if Mo hadn't have given any inclination that he was going to sign a new contract, we would have sold him. Like, we would have sold him to Saudi Arabia for a gazillion pounds. Like, we just would have. Like, there was no chance that we're not going to even give a new contract to Virgil van Dijk or Salah. We're just not even going to give them any contracts. We're not even going to speak to them. And then we're just going to let them leave on a free. Like, that's just not going to happen. Like, so it's a case of we're going to wait till the transfer window's over because there's been a lot to do and there's a lot that wasn't done, by the way. Like, I still think we should have got a left back. Still think we should have got another midfielder, but we didn't. But that's happened. Now we're at a stage where transfer window's over. Now we can sort out the contracts. But we turned down a bid for Virgil van Dijk from Saudi Arabia. We know that, and we also didn't say that we were going to accept any bids for Mo, or we didn't even say we were going to sell Mo. So these players were never available for transfer. So if they're never available for transfer, do you really think we're going to let them walk out the door on freeze? We're just going to offer them contracts. So we'll offer them contracts in the next couple of weeks. And I think that'll be it done. Like, And maybe those players wanted to just see what it's going to be like playing on the slot. And you've already had Alisson come out and say, I'm ready to sign another contract. Like, so you've got a guy who we all worried about thinking might leave because Jurgen's gone and he loved Jurgen. And he's now come out and stated, look, I'm happy to sign a new contract. Like I want to go longer at Liverpool. And you got Virgil saying, I'm calm, I'm fine. Like I'm just playing my football. Like they haven't offered me a new contract yet. Okay, they haven't offered you a new contract yet. That's fine. And Salah's saying the same. Look, I'm fine, I'm calm, I'm enjoying myself, I'm scoring goals. Like if he turns around and does what Sterling does and releases a statement and says, what's going on? I haven't been given a new contract. Then I'd have a moment to worry. Like the person that does worry me the most is Trent, because Trent hasn't said anything. Like he hasn't said he hasn't been offered a new contract, and he also hasn't come out and said that he wants to stay. So Virgil van Dijk has said he wants to stay. Mo has pretty much said he wants to stay. And now you've got Trent. I think it's time for Trent to maybe come out and say something now. Because and there was rumours that he said that he'll be back next year to score a goal against Manchester United. There was rumours that he said that. I haven't got any confirmation of that, but there were rumours that he said it. So, and he came off the pitch happy, like clapping and smiling, and he also took the piss out of the Manx, like at the end of the game. So, for me, I'm not worried about the other two, but Trent is a bit of a worry for me. Like he's the one that maybe, I don't know, because the other two can get sorted out really quickly. Like they can, like it could just be a quick renewal. It could just be, we just give you 2 more years, or we just give you 3 more years, and it's done. But Trent is a brand new contract, 5 years, big pay rise, lots and lots of incentives, all of that kind of stuff. Like this is a guy going into his prime where this is the biggest contract of his life. So that's the one that concerns me, because can we offer him what he wants? Because if he wants 400 grand a month, then he's not going to get it at Liverpool. Like he's just not going to get it at Liverpool. So that's the one that concerns me a bit. I also wanted to go into the presser, which Arnie said, and I just want to read it word for word. By the way, speaking in his post-match press conference, Old Trafford, Slot responded questions on Salah's comments and unsurprisingly stepped back. It's a lot of if, but at the moment he's one of ours, and I'm really happy with him being one of ours. He plays really well, he told the reporters. I don't talk about contracts from players, but I can talk for hours about how Mo played today. But are you interested in that? I just love his sarcasm. He was impressive, like the first two games as well. But if we talk about an individual, you don't do justice to the other ones. What I love about Arnie is I love the fact that he's always about the team, always about the team. A couple more shout outs. Big up Mark. Also big up Bizzle. Just by the way, if you want me to read out any of your comments, please send me a super chat, and I'll read them out, because I don't normally read comments out. I can see you're writing loads of stuff in there, so just fire us over a super chat and I'll obviously read it out for you. If you think today you saw a really good team performance, playing out from the back, high press midfield that kept on running. So of course all the attention goes on Mo and Lucio, but that doesn't do justice to the other 9 and the ones that came in. With the Liverpool manager having made the distinction of Slot taking over as head coach rather than the manager. The Dutchman is well within his rights to avoid questions on recruitment and retention. And I think that is a really shrewd move by Liverpool to do that, because Arnie doesn't have to answer those questions. And that's just great, because that's not his job. His job isn't to talk about transfers, isn't to talk about contracts. It's not his job. So I like the way that works. That dynamic works for me. I also wanted to give massive shout out to this guy who I thought was absolutely sensational. Just brilliance. 5 out of 6 ground duels, 1 out of 1 area duels, 2 recoveries in both goals, resulted in both goals. Absolute monster. Some other comments on him. Slots Project Rijkaard progressing well. We couldn't have signed a number 6 who would have played as well as Gravenberch in the first 3 games. He's been absolutely brilliant. Done such a great job. Gravenberch is outstanding today and has been all season. Ryan Gravenberch made the most interceptions 4 versus Man United. He was the most foul player 3 and won 100% of his tackles. He also won 7 out of 10 duels and made 6 recoveries. Sensational in the game. Gravenberch being the only former Ajax player on the pitch to actually perform well is incredibly funny. That is really funny, because like if you look at Ten Hag has signed 10 former Ajax players since he's been in charge. 10. That's a stat and a half, isn't it? Gravenberch was outstanding. Yeah, just really, really good. Also, just wanted to go through a couple of the talking points. Salah, the creator. So Liverpool, like Salah, the goal scorer. He's the 5th on the club's all-time top goal scorers list and could be in the top 3 by the time he leaves. I also wanted to talk about the double pivot dynamic, which just works so well. And this was his average position for Gravenberch, and just I think we may well have found the midfield dynamic that might work now for the rest of the season, and it means we might get more out of the team in the first half as well now. And I think it could literally be McAllister as the 6, Gravenberch as the 8, and obviously Dom as the 10. I think that could be the dynamic that might work now. And obviously Gravenberch still does a bit of the defensive work, but he's just not deep all the time. I think that could be quite interesting. I really do. What I did want to do as well, and I'm just going to quickly do this. I'm just going to look at Mo Salah's. I just wanted to look at all-time scorers in the Premier League. 2 seconds. No. Okay. Any geeks in here? Any geeks in here got the numbers of the all-time scorers in the Premier League and the all-time assists in the Premier League? Actually, I've got it. Sorry. Okay, so right. Okay, this one's going to interest you. Okay, so this is the all-time scoring list in the Premier League. So you've got Shearer miles ahead. Obviously, Kane's quite far behind him. Wayne Rooney, Andy Cole, Sergio Aguero, Frank Lampard, Thierry Henry, Robbie Fowler. Yeah. Where is it? Where's goals? Sorry. Player stats. Is it all time? How do you do all time? Okay, here it is here. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. Oh, my bad. Let me just move that up. You got Mo Salah on 160. Mo Salah's on 160 goals. Okay, if Mo Salah scored 20 goals this season, he goes into sixth place ahead of Frank Lampard. Like, can we just take a pause and just envisage that? So Mo Salah could essentially this year be in the sixth, seventh place for all-time Premier League goal scorers. Also going to do a couple more shout outs. Who we got? We got some new people here, I think. Big up Callum. Big up Susan. Hope you are well. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. If you want me to read out one of your comments, please pop me a super chat. So Mo Salah is number 10 in the all-time goals. That's just insane. Okay, just that in itself is just insane, because Mo Salah has only played 266 games. He's only played 266 games. Jermaine Defoe played 496. Robbie Fowler played 379. Thierry Henry played. I mean, Thierry Henry was pretty insane, to be fair. Like, he's played 258. So Thierry Henry's an anomaly, let's be fair. And then Frank Lampard played like 600. And then Sergio Aguero, 275. He was insane as well. But Mo Salah could overtake Thierry Henry this year with goals. Okay, so that's just Mo Salah. Okay, that's just Mo Salah right now. Okay, you also need to look at assists. So David Beckham's on 80. Yeah, Mo Salah is on 72, I believe. Mo Salah's on 72 assists. Like, oh, hang on, how have I gone? How have I done that? Okay, sorry, 2 seconds. Okay, so Mo Salah's on 72 assists. Mo Salah, this is how insane it is, by the way. Mo Salah could overtake David Beckham this year. Like, Mo Salah needs 8 assists to overtake David Beckham. He's already on 3. Like, let's just be honest here. Like this guy is. I think he is the best winger in the Premier League ever. Like, right winger in the Premier League ever. Like, I just think he is. Like, I don't think there's anyone near him. I really don't. Like, it is absolutely insane. Like, David Beckham played 265 games, but he was a midfielder who also played on the wing. Like, Mo Salah is a right winger that plays up front, and obviously James Milner's got 637 appearances, and Steven Gerrard's got 500 appearances, and they're all midfielders, by the way. Everyone's midfielders here, apart from obviously Bergkamp, who played. You know, your Bergkamps and your Thierry Henrys, and you know these guys are insane guys. They just are. Like, no one's ever going to get near Ryan Giggs. That's just a fact. But Ryan Giggs played like a million games. But Mo Salah is going to be, if he stays at Liverpool for another year or two, he's probably going to overtake Gerrard, and he's probably going to overtake David Silva and maybe Dennis Bergkamp, and he might even break into the 100 mark. And this is what we're talking about. Like, this is how good this player is, that he scores and assists so many goals. Like, it's just absolutely insane. Like his goal contributions per games is now 302 in 302 in 351 games. Like, it's insane. And if you look at the guy as well, and I will bring this up as well, and if you look at the guy as well, it looks like he wants to be the next Ronaldo. Like, he talks like he's Ronaldo. Like, he talks about numbers. He talks about winning. He talks about goals. You know, he talks about, oh, it's the last chance I'm going to get to score here. Like, he wants to come back and score again. Like, he's kept himself so fit. He went away and worked on so many things. And I'm not going to lie, I think the last 2 years, he's been unhappy. I think the last 2 years at Liverpool, he has genuinely been unhappy with the way things have been. I think he's been unhappy with the way the club's been ran. I think he's been unhappy the way he's been treated. I think he's been unhappy in the positions that he's had to play. I think he was unhappy that we let players go. I think he was unhappy about the tactics, about the formation. I just genuinely believe he's been unhappy for the last 2 years. And now you've got a Mo that looks like he's on top of the world. It looks like he's got a new lease of life. He's smiling. Like, he's got a new celebration with the arrows. Like this is a Mo that we want to keep at a club. This is a Mo that does not go anywhere else. This is a Mo that you could get another 5 years out of. I firmly believe that when Mo's legs go, which will be in a couple of years, I think you can play him up front like Ronaldo. And I think he's a better finisher. And I think he'll get you another 10, 15 goals a season. Big up Bear. Also big up It's Everest. And also big up Lee. Yeah, I genuinely believe that we're looking at a guy that can potentially, in the next 2 years, be in the top 5 of assists in the Premier League, and can also be in the top 5 of goals in the Premier League, and that is frightening. Like that is just truly frightening, to be able to have a guy that can do that, that can be in the assists, like in the records for assists and in the records for goals. Like, it's unbelievable that we can have someone that can be in that conversation. And it's Mo. Like, and you look at you look at the Salah situation as well, and like if he really thought he was going to leave, or he said that he was going to leave, or we had any inclination that he was going to go, and he wasn't going to sign a new contract, we'd have probably sold him to PSG. Like PSG lost Mbappe. Like they lost Mbappe, and they had a massive space there that needed filling. And Mo knows the owners. Like Mo knows the owner. Like it's his friend. Like he could have easily gone to PSG and just got paid mega bucks and killed it there for a few years. Like, and we would have got what we wanted, like 100 million or so. So it just Mo wants records. Mo wants records, and I think he's gonna get them. I think the biggest worry for Mo, for me, is is if he is if Kane came back. If Kane came back, then I think there might be, yeah, I think maybe there might be there might be an opportunity for him to continue his goal scoring, and obviously, try and overtake. I mean, if he came back and played for like Man City for like a couple of years, like he'll probably increase that list, and he might catch Alan Shearer. I also wanted to just show you the goal scoring list for Liverpool as well. So you've obviously got Ian Rush, who's 346. I mean, that's a lot of goals. But if you're keeping Mo, for example, if you kept Mo for like another 5 years, that's 5 times 20. If you potentially got 20 goals a season, then that's another 100, which still doesn't get him near. It doesn't get him near Ian Rush. I mean, it would get him to second place. Like, there's a high possibility that he's probably going to overtake Billy Liddell this year and become the fourth all-time goal scorer for Liverpool, which is quite insane. Like no one thought these guys. No one thought those four would ever be touched. Like I just don't think anyone ever thought that Billy Liddell, Gordon Hodgson, Roger Hunt, and Ian Rush would ever be challenged. But I think Mo could probably get ahead of Billy Liddell this season, and then if he stays next season, then he's definitely got Gordon Hodgson in his sights. I think it's interesting. I also wanted to do the all-time, so also some of the other all-time scorers as well, which is nice to see. You've obviously got Roberto Firmino in there and Mane in there with 120 and 111, which is nice. I also wanted to look at all-time assists. All-time assists, because I don't know whether, yeah. Okay, so, okay, this is old. It's here. Okay, so most assists per season. So Kenny Dalglish, Jesus Christ, 25 assists. Kenny Dalglish got 24 and 22. That is insane. So Trent got 18. Wow, Kenny Dalglish. I mean, Steve McManaman got 20 in one season. That is insane. That is insane. Where is it? Most all-time most assists Liverpool Premier League. Let's have a look at that. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to show you this as well, because I know he was high on the assists. So Steven Gerrard's got 99. This is in the Premier League. So Steven Gerrard's got 99 assists in the Premier League. For Liverpool, Mo Salah's on 70. So if Mo stayed another couple of years, then he might be able to break that record. But Trent's not getting near him. Robbo's not getting near him. That's an interesting one that he's so high up on that list as well. Yeah, I know. Kenny was just. I didn't know Kenny got that many assists. That's what blew my mind then. Is that Lucas Lavey with 13? Sorry, just jokes. Okay, so I just thought I'd cover that as well. Have I got any other stuff to talk about? I don't think I have. I think we're pretty much done. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Ooh. Anyway, there you go. So I hope you've enjoyed the show. Obviously, we've got international break now, where Nunes and Chiesa aren't in their national teams. So maybe you'll get some training done. Gomez isn't included either, so there'll be some training there, and Elliott isn't either. Obviously, Curtis Jones is still coming back from fitness. There's quite a few players that have been called up. Obviously, Robbo, Ben Doak's been called up as well. Owen Beck and Kumas have been called up to Wales. Colombia and Argentina are playing, which will be an interesting game if you want to watch it, with McAllister and Daiz. Salah's got 2 games in the African World Cup against some random teams, Cape Verde and Botswana, something like that. Obviously, Dom's been called up. Trent's been called up, and he's probably going to get played as a right back. Virgil, Gapco, and Gravenberch have been called up, and I would assume Gravenberch will probably play in midfield now. Be mad if he didn't. Konate's been called up for France. I haven't missed anyone out, I believe. Simicast has been called up. Ali's been called up. Keller's been called up. Any of the subs? I can't think of any more subs. Endo's been called up. Yeah, so pretty much everybody across the board, apart from Nunes, Chiesa, and Gomez, and Jones and Elliott, who will all be back in training probably. Yeah, so when we come back from international, we've got Nottingham Forest at home, and then I think we've got who we got after that, and then we've got AC Milan away. So they'll be the next 2. But the next 5 fixtures, I'm thinking we should probably get maximum points. Obviously, bar injuries. I also think that cup game as well, will probably quite a few players will be rested. So it's Forest, Milan, Bournemouth, and I think West Ham's in there as well, isn't it? So I think some players will be rested for West Ham. We don't have any youngsters anymore that we play, so we'll probably play quite a strong team, or maybe just the reserves. But yeah, if you haven't liked or subscribed, please do. And Also appreciate if you leave us any super chats. It helps support the channel. And that's me done for the preview. So far, so good. 10 out of 10 for slot. 5 out of 10 for the transfer window. 0 out of 10 for the contracts. But we'll see where we go in the next couple of weeks. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And I'll be doing another show probably towards the end of the week if there's been any news on contracts, and I might cover stuff in general. I might do an in-depth dive into Salah as well, because what he's achieved is quite phenomenal. And we'll see how it goes. But anything I'll put on my community page, so you'll be able to see if I'm jumping on anyone else's shows. But so far, so good under slot, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.